Hello, and welcome back to Hitman. And in this series we will go back to where it all started, and this time round we will focus on completing as many of the challenges as we can on each and every one of the primary Hitman targets, with maybe a few interesting bonus kills on the way. Today we are in Colorado for the Perfect Alibi challenge, which entails killing all 4 of our targets in separate accidents. So each one is a different accident. And for this challenge we will be starting as usual by the greenhouse, and the only thing we will require to bring with us will be our silenced pistol. Everything else is available on the map. So with that said, let's get reacquainted with our targets.
Sean Rose, Australian environmental terrorist and explosives expert. Ezra Berg, retired Mossad interrogator. Penelope Graves, former Interpol anti-terror analyst. And finally, Maya Parvati, former assassin and gunrunner for the Tamil Tigers. Whether a direct threat to the ICA or not, we need to know the Shadow client's true agenda.
So, right from the start, this is going to be quite a long one as we have 4 targets. So we are going to make our way from the greenhouse to the carpool or motor mechanics garage. And here we are going to take out Maya Parvati using the Scorched Earth challenge. The easiest way to take out all 4 of our targets is with some of the challenges. So once we make it to the garage, we're going to grab the wrench from the bench. We're going to make our way into the auxiliary room here and throw our wrench against the wall while the guard or mechanic is under the car. Otherwise he's too far away and he can't hear you. But when he finally does come to investigate, we can hug the wall, render him unconscious from around the corner. We're going to take his gun, pull him away from the door there. We're going to take the wrench as well, just in case we may need it later on, if I can grab it. There we go. So what we're going to do now is just outside of the garage area where the mechanic goes for a cigarette is a large container of fuel or oil. Either way, it's a very flammable material. So we're going to take the wrench that we've grabbed and loosen the valve on that, which will then create a large puddle. We're going to then hide by the scaffolding over here with our silenced pistol ready and waiting. And eventually, hopefully not very long, Maya Parvati will make her way over here and she will walk past and through that puddle. And when she does, we're going to ignite it.
Maya Parvati is down. Good work.
So that is Maya Parvati taken care of, and as you saw there, the confirmation it was an accident kill. So from here we're going to make our way to the removals vans just beyond the firing range, where we will find an elite soldier outfit which will gain us access to the farmhouse. Before we go into the farmhouse though, we are going to once again re-equip our silenced pistol, and we're going to move on to our second target for the day, Ezra Berg. And we are going to kill him using the mowed down challenge. So we're going to make our way up the ramp by the far side of the farmhouse. Using our silenced pistol, we're going to shoot the lawnmower just above the rear wheels in the little red patch just above the rear wheels there. We're going to make our way back down the ramp just briefly while the guard investigates before making our way back up the ramp. We wouldn't be trespassing if we went all the way up, but we're just going to wait right here. This is close enough. And eventually Ezra Berg will make his way over to this area to have a cigarette. and not realizing that there is a puddle of fuel at his feet, he will die in an accident explosion. So that's one accidental fire and one accidental explosion, with 2 more to go. One will be an accident fall and one will be an accident drowning.
Ezra Berg has been eliminated. Good work, 47.
So that is 2 targets down, and once again you see the confirmation of an accident kill. So once Ezra Berg has been taken care of, we're going to make our way to the barn that Ezra Berg frequents, and here we're going to utilize the weapon we collected earlier, and we're going to place that on the floor there and make our way into the tall grasses. And eventually the guard you can see in front of us will turn around and spot that gun. There he goes, and he will take that gun away, and then we can trip the fuse box on the wall next to where he was standing, which will then draw out the enforcer guard inside the shed, and we can then make our way inside and retrieve the hallucinogenic drugs. So once we've got the safe passage, we can trip the fuse box. We're going to wait for the guard to come to investigate, and when he leaves the shed, we're going to duck in through the window, grab the hallucinogens and make our way out through the door. We're going to make our way around to the rear of the farmhouse. Now there is one enforcer we have to worry about here, but he has just left the area, I believe. You can just see him off in the distance. So we're going to approach the little round table and apply the hallucinogenic drugs to the cigarettes before retracing our steps back towards the shed, but making our way onto the farmhouse property. That's just to avoid the camera above the doors. We're going to enter into the farmhouse via the window, and we're going to use instinct to check where the enforcer bodyguards and that are, as there are a number of people around. The enforcer patrolling the corridor is out on the balcony at the present moment. So we're going to make our way into the upstairs hackers room, and we're just going to wait now for the right opportunity to get into the bathroom. Now I was planning to wait for Sean Rose to leave so that I could mess with the pencils and the hot water, but I figured that was going to take a long time, as Rose seems to be stuck in a bit of a loop and he's not leaving that area anytime soon. So a change of plan, and we're going to mess with the hot water in the bathroom, as we can get to that quite easily. We can't get to the pencils, there's too many people in the room. So we will mess with the grandfather clock downstairs as well, so that when Rose finally spots that the hot water isn't working, he will then be prompted to leave the room. He will then spot that the grandfather clock has been tampered with. This will send him over the top, and he will need to come outside for a cigarette, which is where we will be waiting for him. So again, we're just going to make our way back round to the rear of the property, avoiding the cameras outside the doors. We're going to plug ourselves up just by this sofa here and await the arrival of Sean Rose, who will eventually come along. This can take a little while, and he will come over eventually and have a cigarette, and the hallucinogenic effects will soon take hold of him, and he will then rush into the shed just to our right. So at this point, Sean Rose will make his way into the shed. All we have to do now is follow him in and drown him in the basin.
Sean Rose confirmed down. Nicely done, 47.
So that's 3 down and 3 accident kills down. So we have the fire, the explosion, the drowning. We're now going to go for the fall, and that is our final target, Penelope Graves. So we are going to retrace our steps back into the farmhouse and back up to Sean Rose's bathroom. As you can see, there are a number of enforcers wandering about still. So we're just going to wait for the coast to be clear before we exit the living room here and make our way upstairs towards the bathroom where Sean Rose is. And in here we are going to open the bathroom door, and we'll take out our silenced pistol, and we're going to place that on the floor just opposite the bathroom door, roughly about here. Maybe that's a little far away from the door, but it should still do the trick. And when the patrolling guard comes back, we have ourselves pressed up against the door so the door remains open. He will spot that gun, and when he comes to collect it, we can then subdue him from around the corner, render him unconscious. Don't forget to collect up your gold baller and make our way out onto the balcony or the landing. And we're just going to press ourselves up against this bookshelf or casing, whatever you want to call it, just here underneath the lamp, and we're going to await the arrival of Penelope Graves. Now, from the look on instinct there, she is quite a long way away, so we could be waiting some time. And for you, if your timing is different, she could be just on the doorstep. But here she comes now after a short wait. It wasn't nearly as long as I thought it was going to be. Penelope Graves will make her way into the building, and she will approach the grandfather's clock and comment on it, placing her directly below the chandelier, which we're going to shoot down on her head.
Graves is down. Excellent work, 47. Graves is down. Excellent work, 47.
So that is our 4th accident kill with the confirmation up on the screen there. So all that's left for us to do is to make good our escape, and I'm just hanging around at the top of the stairs to make sure there are no enforcers on our way out. Again, using the window to avoid the cameras, and I'm going to take the boat exit, although you could, if you wished, take the nearer bridge exit. But the boat exit is the safest option, although it's not always the closest. So there we go, that is the perfect alibi challenge. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.